What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jenny. I just got home recently from an exchange program to study abroad over in Hong Kong. I actually ended up evacuating out because of the protesting situation, and I wanted to sit down and film a video explaining what was happening with the protesting from when I got there on August 26th until when I left, which was November 13th. So I wasn't supposed to come home until the 21st of December, but I ended up getting evacuated. I have another video explaining that I'll link down below. But this video is cool because I'm going to show all the footage that I have never shown before, that I've had, but I have kept to myself because I wanted to kind of keep a low profile like I was told when I was there. So I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to try to keep this like as short and concise and to the point as possible. I just want to show and explain like what my life was like for the 3 months that I was there. Protests in Hong Kong have been going on since, I want to say, end of May, beginning of June, something like that. Just a little bit of backstory. Carrie Lam proposed a bill where if people were to be sentenced to go to jail, they would be sent to mainland China. That's where the protesting began. That bill was taken away in the beginning of September, and then the Hong Kongers created 5 demands. Basically, I'm really trying to keep this like to the main point of just showing the stuff that was happening as possible, but there's a lot of great resources out there to get information. South China Morning Post is amazing. They post everything, they explain everything. There's, I'm sure, lots of different YouTube videos out there. I'll try to find one and link it in the description box below that explains the situation, but I want to get into this video. So, I first got there on August 26th, and to be real, for the first month, I want to say, like, it was pretty low-key. The first that I noticed at the protests, first of all, was we did a campus tour, and I remember that was the first day we got there, and we started seeing, like, I'm on a pillow now, it's a little more comfortable. So we started seeing, obviously, the campus tour. And there was just like kind of posters everywhere, just all the stuff. A lot of it was in Cantonese, so I didn't really know, and it wasn't like too intrusive. But then second or third day, we went to Sha Tin, still not sure how to say it, which is a big mall, shopping center with like restaurants, shops, obviously. And it was 2 MTR stops away from my school, Chinese University of Hong Kong. So super convenient. And I remember the first thing I saw was we were there and we had just finished up dinner, and well, so the shopping malls, a lot of the times the protesters will kind of gather there, and it doesn't always get violent. A lot of the times it's just them chanting and looking at posters, and you never know when things are going to escalate. A lot of the times the shopping malls did get really violent, so you never really knew. But I mean, the first time we saw it, this was the first time I saw a gas mask. I remember just being really emotional for like me and everyone I was with, because it was just like, whoa, this is real. I have a video of them doing their chanting, so I'll play that. And then just a couple photos around our campus. So we have this big protester model who's wearing the outfit of a protester. So he has the helmet, the gas mask, the umbrella. Usually they wear all black. This just happens to be all white. He has his flag. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this guy was like moving all around Hong Kong to different campuses and stuff. And then this is just a photo of like the outside of my dorm. I was in Wen Chi Tong, and it just says we boycott for freedom. So you'd see a lot of that like all over. And obviously, like later in the video, I'll show a little bit more. But I want to get into like when it first got bad. And obviously, I don't want to say like it wasn't bad before that. Protesters, they're out there, they're giving their fight, and like things, there was altercations with the riot police, obviously. There was tear gas, there's rubber bullets, there's violence. The kind of things that we would wake up in the morning and like see online is absolutely disturbing and horrifying to think that that's what's going on outside while you're inside. But this is when it was bad. And that was on October 1st, National China Day. And I remember my mom had been in town, and we were staying in Wan Chai, which is on Hong Kong Island, really close basically where all the protests were happening. Obviously during the day there was just kind of walks going on. We were trying to stay out of it as much as possible, but you know, she was only there for a week, so we wanted to go see the Stanley Market, which is out of the city. We thought it was going to be fine, but on our way back we got a little trapped and got kind of stuck. It wasn't violent at all. I mean, people were just walking. You can see in the video some of the graffiti obviously, but it's just a walk, like very peaceful, very nice. But also on that walk we saw the people setting up and preparing for when it got bad. So you can see these protesters are setting up barricades for the stuff to go down. Seeing this like firsthand is just insane. National China Day was clearly bad, but then it was the Friday after that when shit went down, because an emergency bill was passed, and I have a screenshot of it. That we had a Facebook page where we'd get lots of updates of everything that was going on, and it kind of explains it. A bill was passed banning face masks, and obviously face masks in Hong Kong, it's part of their culture, so there's a couple reasons why they wear it. I mean, first of all, with the protesting, tear gas, like tear gas hurts, and they want to try to avoid that. Also facial recognition, and also it's a part of their culture. I know for us in the US, like obviously if you're sick, you're not going to put on a face mask, but for them, like they do, and that's just them. So they were mad. They were like, no, you can't tell me I can't wear a face mask. So obviously that night things got crazy, and they stayed crazy that whole weekend. I remember getting back to my dorm, and it was just like one of the first times where things got really real, and like the city shut down. You can see in this picture of the MTR on the right, every single line is red. That means every single line is shut down, and it was shut down the whole weekend. And I just remember like on our campus, none of the workers could get there. Food couldn't come in, so like we were just kind of trapped. And that's when the graffiti got like really bad on our campus. So I'll just show like a couple of photos. This one shows right outside of one of the hostels, and it says like, you pass the law, you start the war, fuck the police, you can't kill all of us, stuff like that. And there's always graffiti on our campus, and I did feel bad because I remember just seeing the workers outside always having to scrub it up and clean it up with the really strong chemicals, and just feeling so bad for them. But it's hard. Our campus kind of always had posters up, it always had graffiti up, but this was especially when it got bad. After that, because they were so done with the MTR stations getting so, I mean, I would be pissed off if every MTR station was getting so vandalized and so destroyed. So they ended up closing them like so early. Like, so they would start closing them at 8 p.m. or like, I think they finally pushed it back to like 10:30 p.m. But that's still really early to be closing the biggest public transportation system in all of Hong Kong. And it just gradually was getting harder and harder to go downtown and to go out and stuff. We would always be sent where the potential protests would be, or the planned protests would be. And we knew like, okay, we need to avoid those areas, and it was usually downtown and usually during the weekend. So we knew to avoid that. With that being said, also things could come suddenly and when you don't expect it. In terms of studying abroad, being in a new country and wanting to explore, the protests definitely made it so, like a lot of the time, I was like, okay, well, you can't do this because it's not safe. By all means, I don't want to make it seem like I'm like complaining. There's a point to this fight, and they're fighting for something, and their fight is worth so much more than my abroad experience. Just want to make that clear. Like, it's okay. Like, while I'm talking about that, that was also something that was really hard, because I remember sitting down with my friends, especially after we first saw like, the gas masks and first saw everything going on. It was a big moment of realization of just how lucky we are. Like, especially in the US, we're so lucky that we don't have to wake up every single day and fight for a democracy. It's really insane to see a world where that's not just like given to you. And it was so hard, because I remember always just being like, I wish I could do something, I wish I could help, I wish I could just fix this. We always just went back and said, this isn't our fight. And that was one of the hardest things to realize, is there's nothing we can do, we're just witnesses. Let's talk about when I left. So we got back from Korea, checked the South China Morning Post, and riot police were on campus. We sat in the airport, and I recorded one of my phone calls. I called my advisor. Let's just play that. Jennifer Morash, I'm one of the students at CUHK. We just were wondering if it's safe to come back to campus, or if we should stay at the airport.
Stay at the airport first.
Okay.
Most of the entrances to the campus are blocked and filled with police
Okay.
already.
Okay.
You might want to book a hotel for one night
Okay.
and around the airport.
Okay.
So it might be the safest place for you to do that.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, I think you guys just heard that conversation. That was me calling the emergency hotline for the US students at CUHK. Basically, the police have taken over school, and like we can't go back, so we just called our advisor, and he basically just told us to get a hotel at the airport tonight because it's not safe to go back, / we can't get back onto campus because the police are shooting bullets and tear gas.
We ended up getting back that night. It was rough, but we got back. And then the next day is when shit went down. This is taken from my dorm.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
And you can just see there's 2 huge fires. The riot police were pushing everyone onto the field, launching tear gas, rubber bullets, and our campus was a war zone. And I remember just sitting there, just being like, oh my god, every time I talk about this I get emotional. I remember just sitting there just being like, this isn't okay. I want to keep this as real as possible. But like, all I want right now is just to like be home and be with my family, and like, I'm so scared for tomorrow to try and leave because I don't even know how I'm gonna get off of campus. Like, I genuinely don't know how I'm gonna get to the airport because everything's blocked off. Okay, I'm gonna pull it together. Basically, the riot police came onto our campus and it just got destroyed and we left. And I kind of explained what that process was in the evacuation video. It's just one of those things that words can only describe so much. I know I say this a lot, but this has just been one of the most eye-opening experiences of my life. And it's insane. I'm 19, and most people go their whole lives without experiencing something like this or seeing such a huge chunk of history going down and taking place. And obviously, by all means, like, I wish this wasn't happening to Hong Kong, but I don't want to say I'm glad that I saw what I saw, but I'm glad that I'm able to come back here and share what's going on and share my experience. And I came back feeling very blessed to be living and having the things I do, and not being like some students in Hong Kong who wake up every day, put on their all black, put on their gas mask and their helmet, and grab their umbrella and don't know if they will be coming back at the end of the day. And we are so lucky. So that was my protesting in Hong Kong experience. I don't know if I'm going to be making any more videos like about Hong Kong. I can make more videos about my study abroad experience and all of that because obviously I did a lot. I had a lot of fun. That put me in a weird mood just talking about all of that. But I'm glad that I can kind of share a little bit of what I saw and what went down and spread the message. And I'm always down to talk about what's going on there. I'm actually in San Diego right now. I go to San Diego State. I study computer engineering, and I'm coming back here full-time again at the end of January, so maybe I'll make like college videos, I don't know. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this video was informative and that I was able to explain in a good way like what went down, what happened. I know this is only the tiniest chunk of like what's actually happening because it's one person's experience in a whole world of trouble. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe down below if you haven't, and give this video a thumbs up for Hong Kong. And let me know if I'm still Hong Kong Jenny because I don't know and I'm having an identity crisis. So let me know and I will see y'all in the next video.